Alright, we're going to start this video with an apology and a story. So in 2020, as the holidays were approaching, I decided that I didn't just want a Christmas tree, that I needed a Christmas tree, despite the size of my New York City apartment. And I got it in my head that I wanted to have a very particular kind of tree, a chinoiserie tree. I had a very clear, detailed image in my head of what that was, and I did a quick search and yielded chinoiserie trees and ornaments and ribbon, more in line with the blue and white ginger jars that are so popular. But I was thinking more along the lines of the mirrored chinoiserie screens in the photos of Coco Chanel's apartment, and adding a little bit of whimsy to my tree that you see in the popular chinoiserie wallpapers that are around now, which led me to design my own ornaments. And then I thought to myself, somebody else must be looking for this, and I thought, I am going to tape it. And here's the apology. I shot the video portrait. Rookie mistake. And after a year of having the footage, I decided I was going to upload it anyway. Alright, I hope that this video helps someone else make their chinoiserie Christmas dreams come true. Let's start by looking at a completed ornament. I wanted the ornaments to look like Mercury Glass Ornaments with hand-painted chinoiserie details. As we go through the tutorial, I'll teach you how I did this. Let's go over the materials. The first thing you're going to need is a clear ornament. It can be either glass or plastic in any shape you want. This particular ornament I have here is plastic, and I chose that for storage reasons. I just wanted it to not be breaking. Next, you're going to need Krylon Looking Glass spray paint, and you can find it at most craft stores. A spray bottle that mist. You need it to mist, that's very important. A selection of oil-based paint markers. I used Sharpie, but you can use any kind that you want. I used a variety of tips based on the things that I was going to be drawing. You will know what you're drawing, so you can make that choice. And the green marker, I can't remember where I purchased that, but if I can find it, I'll include that information in the description box. And finally, you'll need water, vinegar, and a blow dryer. To start, you're going to want to work in a well-ventilated and covered area and to have all your materials on hand. You can see that I am spraying the Krylon spray into the ornament. You're going to move the paint around inside the ornament to get the coverage that you want. It dries pretty fast, but I'm going to help the process along with the blow dryer. Once you sort of have a little bit of coverage, that's when you're going to get your spray bottle. This is a 50-50 mix of water and vinegar, and I'm just doing a squirt into there so that the water can cause the aged effect that you see on mirrored glass. So now that I have the water in there and I've achieved a little bit of the effect, I'm going to use my blow dryer to dry it quickly. Be careful with this because the heat from the dryer is definitely going to heat up the ornament. If you can work on a cooler setting, it takes a little bit longer for it to dry, but it won't burn your hands. Again, I'm working with the plastic ornament. If you're working with glass, it will definitely heat up. So once I have my first layer of paint, I'm going to use my spray paint and I'm going to spray again. We are creating layers and layers of paint so that you can have the look that you want. So just sprayed in a couple of squirts of the paint inside, and what I'm doing is I'm making sure that all the areas of the ornament have coverage. So I'm making sure that there's no parts of the ornament that are just left plain. This can take some time and you're gonna have to move it around just a little bit. And again, once you kind of have it dried just a little bit, just enough, you're gonna get your spray bottle and spray a little bit more water in there. You'll kind of have an idea of how much water is in there just by looking. But again, you're trying to get as much coverage as possible. This is really prepping your ornaments for the process of painting. You will determine what you want your ornaments to look like how aged you want them. Maybe you don't want them as aged, maybe you just want them to be completely mirrored and shiny, so you don't need to use the water. But I think that the aging or using the mirrored glass effect will definitely make your ornaments look, I guess, more authentic is how I would describe them, or as authentic as handmade ornaments made of glass or plastic can be. So once you have all the coverage you need and everything looks the way you want, now it's time to move on to the next step. If there's excess water or anything inside, then you probably will want to pour that into a little bowl. I have one handy just in case. You can see I was okay with how things were, and then I decided I wanted just a little bit more glass. I think there was just like a tiny space that I had found that wasn't completely covered. You also have the option of putting in an additional metallic paint. I did that for some ornaments that went on my tree that weren't painted. And I did that because I figured it would add more detail to those ornaments. I should say on my tree there were a mix of actual Mercury Glass ornaments and the Mercury Glass ornaments and chinoiserie ornaments that I created. So I completed a number of them and got them ready to go, and then I started the process of drawing on my ornaments. I highly recommend that you go onto the internet and find some inspirational images, some guides before you start drawing on your ornaments, because one of the reasons we are using this type of marker is that the paint stays when it gets on there. They have to be activated, so you'll have to shake the pens up and then press them onto a sheet of paper so the ink gets flowing. Usually once the ink starts flowing, you don't have any need to reactivate them again, but if you do, you can just reactivate them and it shouldn't be a problem. Now, I created a number of different ornaments, but you are just watching me draw the crane chinoiserie ornament. Cranes are a popular image in chinoiserie wallpaper, and I definitely wanted to include them. If you have been following some of my bullet journal videos, you will have seen me do this. All right, so here's our final product. It is drying. You can see I did the cranes and a number of flowers, and I'm going to show you the other ornaments as well. The video, of course, is sped up in terms of time. It took me quite a while to draw all the images onto the ornaments, and I highly recommend that if you are not skilled, that you take the time to maybe pre-draw a little bit to practice before you draw on your ornaments. Or you could simply just draw flowers. They're just as pretty as everything else. So you can see here I created a pagoda ornament that had the traditional pagodas that you see. I'm still looking for a pagoda ornament, like a physical ornament for my tree. I can only find vintage ones that weren't for sale, so I'm still on the hunt. And you can see here some chrysanthemum flowers. These were all just images I found on the internet. but I made the decision to render them all in the same colors, mixed metals, so white, gold, silver, and then the green. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, please let me know, or if you decide to do the ornaments, I would love to see them. Have a very happy holiday. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Thank you.